Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre the Game I Dig. I thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Gamer's Thoughts discussion. In this, I'm going to be talking about why Nintendo want to bring back F-Zero, because I've actually seen comments on different places that ask, well, if Nintendo has Mario Kart 8 out right now, why would they want to bring out an F-Zero game? They don't usually have two games of the same genre out at the same time. This makes me facepalm very hard because I guess people don't understand that Battalion Wars, aka Advance Wars, aka Famicom Wars, and Fire Emblem are practically the same from a gameplay perspective. Or maybe they don't understand that also you can have two different racing games from the same company that fit different genres. Whereas Mario Kart's more of like a fun party type of game where you race around with each other. F-Zero's more of a sci-fi arcadey feel racing game. Just very different from somebody having a simulation racer and again an arcadey racer. So they could have two different games that fit the same genre out at the same time. They also have multiple RPGs out on the damn Switch right now that are theirs. They have multiple platformers out that are theirs. So this like saying, okay, well, we got Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, Deluxe, whatever, so we don't need Super Mario Maker 2. Because it fits into nearly the same category. It's still a platformer, even if you build the levels yourself. Or let's say, okay, Breath of the Wild comes out. Does that mean that Nintendo isn't allowed to have any other adventure game on their platform? Or they're not allowed to put out another adventure game on their platform? That sounds ridiculous. That really does sound ridiculous. And it's so cognitively deficient to think that they can't have multiple games in the same type of genre out at the same time. Their library would be tiny as hell if they legitimately didn't have multiple games that fit different genres that could fit into the same genres together in different genres. So like that was an asinine statement. And I'm like, do people really think this way? Like, for a second, your brain cells fired up, and that was the best they could come up with. That was the best that they could come up with. I feel almost insulted for that, for Nintendo for that, because it's like also saying that they're incapable of making multiple games that suit the same genre. I'm like, man, Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country came out on the Super Nintendo, if I remember correctly. Mario 64 and Donkey Kong 64 came out on the same platform, if I remember correctly. And again, I've already given the Advance Wars and Fire Emblem comparison. So I'm like, and I think literally Fire Emblem was built off of the Famicom Wars engine. If I remember correctly, it was one of the other two ways around. One was built off the engine that the other was started in, back on the NES or the Famicom. So I'm sitting here like, what idiot came up with this thought? I'm like, well, so that means that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Deluxe couldn't be on the same console, right? Because they can't have two games in the same genre out at the same time. Like, just thinking about that. They don't do that at all. Real super high IQ there, right? F-Zero being out on any Nintendo platform would not affect in any way, shape, or form Mario Kart. Because they are different style games. Now, I will say all the people that are begging for F-Zero that have no actual experience with F-Zero might want to pipe down a little bit, because F-Zero games are built to be hard. They're made with a high skill ceiling. And if you're not ready to try to take on that challenge, you should not be begging for this game. I, on the other hand, love F-Zero and would love the challenge to be put back out. I would love to see it. I'd be happy to see it. I'd be all over it, ready to play it. But this stupid mindset, like I saw it several times. I was like, there's no way. There's no way people think this way. There's legitimately no way that people are this cerebrally inept that they can't use their brains and look at Nintendo's library and see how many games are of the same genre, sometimes even using the exact same engines, that are different games on their platforms. Again, I'm just like, how hard did you hit your head, Goku? Because that's the level we're at. That's the level we're at. If people are asking this question and they're actually serious about it. And when I saw it, I read through the thread that it was a couple threads like that were attached to stuff like that. And I was hoping that these people weren't serious, and they legitimately were. At least from what I could tell. I mean, maybe they were being highly sarcastic, and that just doesn't really translate well through text. But I'm sitting here like, oh gosh, please tell me that the two brain cells that you had didn't come together and come to that conclusion when there's evidence to the contrary. There is complete evidence to the contrary on that front. So the two brain cells that you could get to rub together, that's what they came up with. And that's why I made that video years ago, that gamers are getting dumb. But I think I should have said, in the general scope, the human populace is becoming dumber. And that may just be the case. Or maybe it's not the human populace. Maybe it's just all the people I somehow run across or come into contact with, that the majority are not very intelligent or have no ability to think beyond what they see right in front of them. And even sometimes they can't even think about what's right in front of them, because there are people that are still saying that the Wii U came out with 23 launch games instead of 32 launch games, which I know the article that people are looking at. I think it was a Tech Radar article that they're looking at, and that was before the Wii U came out, and they just assumed that, that's the right article, so we're just going to go with that. They looked at the title, didn't actually read the article itself. And the bad thing is, even IGN actually has the correct list of games that actually launched on the Wii U. But that's a whole other discussion for a different time. People, why do y'all do this? Why are your brains so mush that I always have to find somebody to say something so ridiculous that my brain hurts trying to figure out how they came to that conclusion? The synapses in my brain fire off extremely fast, and I'm sitting here like, I don't know. I can't imagine where this thought process came from, because, I mean, either you live in a bubble and know very little, or you are incapable of doing a 3-second Google search to find what you're looking for, to make sure that the things that you're saying actually make any sense. 3 seconds is all it takes to do a Google search to find out what you need. Sometimes it's incorrect, but there are also multiple sources that you can go to. That's kind of the purpose of it. You can browse through multiple different sites and sources to get your information. But goodness, they don't want to put out an F-Zero because it would mess with Mario Kart. You are a clown. You have to be. You have to be a clown, and your name must be Dopey. But I think I'm done with the generic insults. So thank you guys very much for listening in. Keep your eyes and ears out. More stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out, everybody.